Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. We're currently in the middle of an amazing cruise around the Western Mediterranean on the MSC World Europa. This is one of MSC Cruise Line's newest ships, and there's sure a lot to see and enjoy on this vessel. We've already seen some amazing places in southern France, including Nice, Monaco, and Marseille, as well as the beautiful maritime city of Genoa in northern Italy. We also had the chance to try some of the specialty dining on board, and had a very interesting experience. Make sure you check out those videos in the link down below. Now we're heading towards the huge port city of Naples, ready to see what new adventures are in store. Good morning guys, and welcome to day 3 of our Mediterranean cruise here on the MSC World Europa. We are steaming through the Mediterranean right now, on our way from Genoa, Italy, into the Bay of Naples. We're pretty excited about this port. We've been to Naples before. We were there last year, if you remember in one of our other videos. We went to Pompeii, and then of course we climbed way to the top of the upper part of Naples and then took those stairs all the way down. It was kind of an exhausting day. Yeah, because there's so many steps. It feels good right here. Look at that breeze. You know, this is really treacherous going down these steps.
Yeah. They're the awkward length steps where you don't know if you should step on them twice or just once.
Yeah, I've had to alternate my legs now so I don't completely destroy my knees. But on this visit, we'll actually have enough time to go around and see some of the major sites, so we're excited about that. Catherine is actually getting a massage right now, so I'm sure she'll tell us all about that later. So I went up to get some breakfast at the buffet, and my oh my was it packed. We aren't getting to Naples until about 11:30 this morning, so relatively late for getting into a port in the cruising world. We don't leave port until 8 o'clock at night, so that's nice. But what that means is that everyone right now is still on the ship. And what that also means is everyone and their brother is going up to the buffet for breakfast. It's about 9 o'clock, 9:30 right now, and it's a madhouse up there. I don't know. I wouldn't wish that upon my enemy to have to navigate that buffet right now. It is a very narrow buffet. It's huge. It takes up a huge footprint on the ship. Obviously, it should. It's basically one little walkway to get from one end of the buffet to the other, and then it's mirrored on the other side. So there's just throngs of people trying to push by, and they're not shy about butting in to get what they want. Lines aren't really a thing here. It's very much kill or be killed in the buffet line. It's kind of crazy. So I got my coffee. I decided not to go to the buffet for breakfast. I'm just going to tough it out until Catherine gets back from her massage, and then we'll figure out something. Just a fair warning, if you have a late arrival into port like this, avoid the buffet. I mean, we always try to avoid the buffet anyway, because on ships like this that hold 5,000-6,000 people, they're always crazy. But they are particularly crazy on days where you arrive late into port. When I was actually leaving the buffet after getting my coffee and a couple waters, they actually closed it. People coming in, they weren't letting any more people into the buffet on deck 18. So obviously they reached capacity, and they were able to keep track of that somehow. But they reached capacity in that buffet, which is just astounding on a ship like this with a buffet that big. Just a madhouse. After a bit, Catherine returned from her massage in the Aurea Spa. All MSC ships have their flagship spa, the Aurea, as well as a thermal suite and fitness center. These facilities are actually really nice, and we've always enjoyed using them. We found that MSC tends to have some of the most affordable spa treatment prices at sea, especially when compared to the other cruise lines. You can see the prices on the spa menu here, but keep in mind that all these prices are for when you book on board. MSC also offers some deeply discounted treatments before you board, which you can book online. You can add these treatments to your cruise along with other things like shore excursions and drinks packages. For example, Catherine booked an 80-minute Swedish massage before we boarded. The menu price for this treatment was 159 euros. However, when we booked it online and paid ahead of our cruise, we paid just $109 US, or about 100 euros at the time. That's a savings of nearly 40%. If you don't book before you board though, there are sometimes deals that are offered for certain treatments, so look out for those in your daily program. Before we knew it, the ship was pulling into the beautiful Bay of Naples. we could see the far-off island of Capri, as well as the towering peak of Mount Vesuvius. This is always such an amazing port to pull into. We made our way down into the World Galleria, which serves as the main atrium of this ship. This is an amazing space to be in, but today we were concentrating on trying to find a way off the ship. We managed to find this somewhat hidden escalator to take us down to deck 4. By far the fastest way out, the escalator. Naples is a beautiful city, and you can see it from the moment that you leave the ship. This whole port area actually used to be in the water, and right on the coast was this massive and foreboding-looking Castle Nuovo, or the New Castle. This quote-unquote new castle was built in 1282, and then rebuilt again in 1479. It was the seat of power for the kings of Naples, Aragon, and Spain up until 1815. It has a huge inner courtyard, as well as several museums that visitors can access for a fee. Right nearby is one of the main squares of the city, the beautiful Piazza del Plebiscito. We also took a stroll through the nearby Galleria Umberto I, which reminded us a lot of the Galleria Vittoria Emanuela II in Milan. Both of these are huge galleries with amazing cast iron roofs and several shops here. We couldn't believe how many shops and restaurants were in this massive space. It was quite a sight to see. From there, we continued walking through the center of the city towards what we thought would be a very interesting tourist destination, the Galleria Borbonica. This archaeological site, which is also called the Bourbon Tunnel, was once a strategic military tunnel built between the royal palace and the barracks of Naples. Naples tended to be somewhat revolutionary, so the royals thought it would be good to have a direct connection between the palace and the military. Now it's filled with some pretty interesting stuff. The tunnels are open for tours at a cost of 15 euros. After getting our fill of the city, we wanted to go out and get our fill of one of the foods that this town is known for. Pizza, of course. We headed over to the beautiful seaward-facing Promenade and found a restaurant that serves up some Napoli pizza. It was great to just sit here, enjoy the breeze, the amazing views, and the even better food. It had been several hours by now and we were getting a bit tired, so we decided to head back to the ship. On the way we passed another Naples landmark, the Ovo Castle. This huge stone fortress was built out on the bay to protect the harbor. It also served as a royal residence for a period of time. Now this building is actually a museum and conference hall, offering some great views of the city and sea. From there we headed back to the port, finding some interesting excavations taking place along the way. Right now they're actually working on uncovering part of the old medieval pier that used to stand here. We walked out from the ancient and back into the new, going through the port to get to our ship, which was actually looking very impressive in this relatively small port. God, it really is just a massive ship, isn't it?
You just have to lean back to take it all in.
Yeah. Well, let's get back on after our day in Naples. After getting some rest, we decided to make it dinner time. On MSC cruises, you're given an assigned table in an assigned restaurant at an assigned time, so I guess we didn't make it dinner time as much as the cruise line did. Regardless, we made our way down to deck 6. Alright, back in the Hexagon Restaurant for dinner tonight. So we weren't in here last night. We came the first night, but they actually moved our table on us, so they moved it a couple tables over, so that was a little confusing, but we're getting the menu now, and we're going to see what we like. So Catherine got her starter. What is that, like roast beef and asparagus?
Yeah.
That actually looks really good. And then I went ahead with the cuttlefish salad. How'd you like your starter, Catherine?
It was good. And then we confirmed this is a Russian salad.
Yeah.
So it just had like cubed potatoes, carrots, peas.
But it was good, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, my cuttlefish salad was really good. I didn't realize it would just be a bunch of shredded cuttlefish, but pretty good. All right, so Catherine went with the chicken parmesan. Parmesan looks a little bit stingy.
Yes. Yeah.
There's like no tomato sauce on there.
No.
But it smells really good.
Yeah.
And then I went with the braised beef, which is a healthy chunk of meat here. And then also he brought over some fries. We don't know why, but we got some extra fries.
Yeah, we didn't ask for them, but
We like fries, so. One of the main complaints MSC often gets is on its food in the main dining room. And during our last cruise on the MSC Poesia, we definitely had to agree. However, on this cruise, we had been so far impressed by the food. So what'd you think about yours?
it was okay.
Yeah.
I would have liked more sauce, more Parmesan. Chicken was dry.
To be honest, it was kind of the thing we were talking about on our last cruise. The chicken itself lacked flavor. I tried some of Catherine's. It needed some flavor. It was a little disappointing. Mine was really good, though. I enjoyed mine. Mine had a good amount of sauce on it. But yeah, again, hit or miss in the main dining room. What happened here, Catherine?
I think this is where all the sauce went from my chicken parm.
What'd you get?
So it's the royal cake. It's kind of like a chocolate mousse type cake.
Yeah. With some ice cream?
Yeah.
Looks good.
And dots.
Looks very decadent.
Yes.
And then I went with a cobbler with ice cream. Berry cobbler. These look good.
Very good.
After dinner, we decided to check out a show in the World Theater. This theater is a relatively large venue, though we do think it's quite a bit smaller than it should be for a ship of this size. The World Theater serves as the main theater on this ship. Tonight, there was a singer, Christina Elinas, who was doing a show called Divas. She sang several songs from the divas of the music industry over the past few decades, including Adele, Whitney Houston, Gloria Gaynor, and more. She was actually pretty good. After the show, we were keen to watch the Sailaway out of the Bay of Naples. It was such a beautiful night that we went to the aft of the ship and enjoyed the World Promenade. The World Promenade is definitely one of the highlights of the world-class ships on MSC, and it was almost definitely inspired by the new classes of ship on Royal Caribbean. A few times a night, they have a light show out here, and they are always mesmerizing. The shows each night are slightly different, with different music blasting throughout the promenade. Tonight there were also several crew members dancing along near the aft of the promenade. It was such a neat experience to be out here, though we do wonder how the 10 p.m. and later shows go over with the passengers on the promenade view balcony cabins.
It's a party out here.
There are two venues on the aft of the ship out here. One is Sweet Temptations, a premium ice cream, yogurt, and gelato bar with several sweet treats for you to enjoy, for an extra fee, of course. They even feature a few giant milkshakes and waffles here. While the presentation was beautiful, we heard from other cruisers that the food here wasn't really that good, and was definitely not worth the price tag. On the other side of the ship is the Lanai Bar and Malt Lounge. This venue is a classy-looking joint with comfortable chairs and plenty of cocktails that you can choose from. It is also right at the aft of the ship, giving you an amazing view of Sailaways. You should know, though, that this is one of the only venues on board that allows smoking everywhere. Being non-smokers ourselves, we did find the smoke a bit overwhelming, and we could only sit here for a few minutes before needing to leave. We did enjoy the last few glimpses of Naples as our ship continued south into the night.
A very good morning from Messina, Italy, on the beautiful island of Sicily. We've been to Italy so many times, and we've never gotten this far south as to get to Sicily, so this is pretty cool to be here. Today, though, we're going to take it pretty easy. We want to explore some parts of the ship that we haven't been able to yet. Guys, the ship is just so huge. This is our 4th day on the ship, and we still haven't seen over half the venues. So we're going to take some time to do that today. But for now, we're just going to go up and get a quick breakfast at the buffet, have some coffee, relax. We are in port until about 7 p.m. tonight, so it'll be almost a 12-hour port day. We have plenty of time to go out, see what we want to see, do what we want to do. But we're planning on just having a relaxing day. We do quickly want to shout out all of the staff on this ship. They have been absolutely amazing. The only thing, though, is that I just met our cabin steward this morning on the 4th day of the cruise, which is a little bit odd. Usually they come and introduce themselves before the 4th day, usually on the 1st or 2nd day, just so you get to kind of know them and create a rapport with them. He has come in and cleaned our room every day. One thing that we don't really like too much is that they come in and clean your room even if the do not disturb is on. No matter if that do not disturb button is on, if you don't have your key card in the little key card slot, they might come in and want to clean and things like that, which we don't really like. I mean, obviously the cleaning is appreciated, and I think they do have to do it once a day. But usually if you have a do not disturb thing around your door, they just wouldn't come in at all, right? So it's a little bit odd, but it is what it is.
On the way up to breakfast, we did see something that we thought we should share with you.
So when you board the ship, if you haven't already, you'll need to put a credit card on your cruise account, and this is where you can do it. You can also use this to actually pay with cash your cruise account while you're on the ship. It's actually pretty nifty and easy to use. And you can find these by guest services, and then there's also one by the World Theater, which is right behind me. So yeah, we're going to pay some down. We had some winnings at the casino, so we're going to put that cash into our cruise account so we don't get charged on our credit card after the cruise.
We rested through the morning, and before we knew it, it was lunchtime. Today we decided to have lunch in one of the main dining rooms. Lunch is generally offered for about an hour and a half in the main dining room each day.
We're here for lunch in the main dining room. See how it is. So what'd you get?
So I basically got a cream of mushroom soup.
Cream of
but
mushroom.
It's got a Parmesan foam on top.
Oh.
Yeah, very interesting.
That's what's going on there.
Yeah.
And then I got an empanada, chicken empanada. It's a little Spanish dish this morning. But these are just the starters. How was your soup?
Really good, really flavorful, salty, mushroomy.
Yeah. My empanada was really flavorful too. A little bit of spice. But I'm not one of those people that confuses spice with flavor, so it was very flavorful. So we got the spaghetti, and it is a small portion.
Yeah.
They do small portions for lunch, but that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm a little bit full from that starter.
Yeah, it was really
But
good.
then I went with the seafood tagliatelle. So we'll see how this is. That seafood tagliatelle was really good, very flavorful, and just packed full of seafood. And Catherine seems to have liked her dish too.
Yeah, I really liked it. Pasta was cooked really good.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely had some heat to it. I'm a wimp when it comes to spice, though. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so they do make all their pasta on board. And one thing they do well on board is pasta. So these pasta dishes are usually pretty good. Okay, so meal eaten. It was pretty good. The pasta was good. Catherine didn't really like her dessert, but I liked my apple dessert. But now we are headed to Coffee Emporium. We thought a little bit of caffeine after that meal would be good, so we're gonna go. There's supposed to be gourmet coffees. We're gonna check it out.
Coffee Emporium is a nice little coffee shop located out on the World Promenade. Here you can get all kinds of coffee from all over the world, and you can even use your drinks package for it too. Or so we thought.
Okay, so Coffee Emporium is not included with our Easy Plus drinks package. A little bit upsetting. It would have been nice to get some artisanal coffee. We don't really know what the criteria is to be included in the Easy Plus drinks package or not, because the tea house, all of the teas that are under €9, which is all of them, are included. So it's a little confusing. The tea house is included, but the coffee shop is not. But that's okay. We're used to a lot of these cruise lines that have these specialty coffee places, not including them in the normal drinks package. They usually have like a coffee package or something like that. So a little bit of a bummer, but we'll survive. I'll probably just go up to the buffet and get some of the coffee up there. It's decent coffee. Okay guys, the ship is about to sail away from Messina here in Sicily. It's been a beautiful day. We've had a nice kind of relaxing day. Didn't do too much. I got some work done, which is always good. But now we are headed to dinner, and we're going to one of the specialty dining restaurants on board, Butcher's Cut. Butcher's Cut is actually the steakhouse on board, so we're going to give that a try. We are going to use what they call the dining experience. And so basically, all of these restaurants have a dining experience where it's a set price for a set menu where you can kind of choose what you want. Of course, the premium things on the menu are not going to be on offer to you using this dining experience, but it is nice to have a set price, know exactly what you're going to pay. So we're probably not going to get a tomahawk steak tonight, but we will, I'm sure, get some good food.
We had about 30 minutes before our dinner reservation, so we decided to go to Masters of the Sea.
Stopped off for a beer first.
This venue is located on the World Galleria on Deck 7, and it's actually 2 decks tall. This cozy little pub is also home to a functioning brewery, the Oceanic Craft Brewery. Along with the extensive beer list that's already here, Oceanic beers are also served to guests.
Cheers.
Stella.
And it's the only place on the ship that you can get a bunch of these different beers.
Today we just went with a Guinness and Stella, and it was a nice place to pass some time before heading across the World Galleria to Butcher's Cut. Butcher's Cut can be found on almost all MSC ships, and it's become a favorite for many cruisers, including us. The aesthetic of the restaurant is definitely a dark and modern steakhouse, and the menus are actually quite large, literally. This restaurant was very full tonight, so we couldn't really comment on our food in the restaurant, but we did enjoy our meal.
We are back from dinner at the Butcher's Cut. The ship is leaving the island of Sicily, though we're getting some pretty good views out the window right now. But what did we think about Butcher's Cut? Overall, it was really good. We did the dining experience, which is kind of a preset menu, 47 euros per person. You can substitute certain items, and then you pay half of the menu price, in addition to the 47 euros that you've already paid for the experience. So I did that with my appetizer. I got the crab cakes because that wasn't on offer in the dining experience. So it ended up costing me about 9 euros extra for the crab cakes. They were very good, so much crab meat in there. And then our steaks were cooked really well, delicious. And then, of course, the desserts were fantastic. They were really good. The chocolate lava cake, can't go wrong with that on any cruise line, to be honest. So we had a really good experience. It ended up costing about 118 euros for 2 people. So that included 2 appetizers, 2 steaks, 2 desserts, and then, of course, the drinks were included with our drinks package. But overall, good experience at Butcher's Cut. The specialty dining on MSC so far, based on our experience, has been pretty good.
With that, we ended our evening exploring some other venues of the ship before heading to bed. Our cruise was only half over at this point. We still had several more venues to check out and so many more ports to enjoy. Make sure you join us in our next video when we visit the beautiful and mysterious island of Malta. We also try some south of the border food in a specialty restaurant and find some major disappointment at the Chef's Garden Kitchen. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.